This is the 40th episode of Kiefcast. I'm with my co-host Tessa, and this is finally it. We're finally ready to talk about the Persona games, maybe a little bit of the new Atlas original IP that came out. If Yusuke ever wants to show up in the VC here, but yeah, so the first thing we're going to do is react to both of these. Actually, technically, we already known about these trailers. We already reacted to them, but we're going to just showcase the trailers anyways, showcase what we mean, then we're just going to straight up talk about it. So I'm gonna play the Persona 5 Tactica trailer first, then the Reload, and then we'll take it from there. So, Tactica goes first.
And now to our main story.
What the hell? What happened to the TV?
What's happening? What is this place? It looks like we're in a palace.
What's going on? Who are these people?
No idea. If they're attacking us, our only choice is fighting them. Hey, look over there! Can you get us out of here? So you're telling me you're thieves who steal hearts, and you just happened to stumble into this world? The Rebel Corps will always help the Phantom Thieves, just as the Phantom Thieves have helped the Rebel Corps. Never forget that we're a united force who can rely on each other. You should be grateful to have been made my subjects, but you're just mere little brats. Unfortunately, returning will be no easy feat. Somewhere deep inside, I know you realize things can't go on like this. So, will you take a stand beside us? Yeah, let's show them what we got.
Okay, so that's Tactica. Thanks to the Xbox Showcase. So now for Persona 3 Reload. Okay.
Play it day one with Game Pass.
No thanks, I'm gonna play on my Sony console. Anyway, so those are the games in question. That's gonna be the center of the topic. So, I guess we'll talk about Tactica first, since that's the first thing that we showed. So, Tessa, like, what are your thoughts on the Persona 5 Tactica that's gonna come out in November?
Honestly, I actually like the art style. That's an issue with a lot of fans right now. It looks like a little too much like the Q series, but you're not to a person who loves cheesy art to the point where I was obsessed in after high school looking at it.
Yeah, chibi art style is honestly horrible. I've never had. Yeah, that's the thing. I've never had an issue with chibi art style. Like, I see why maybe to some people that could be seen as a little bit like weird or off, but you know, it's just like an art style. It's just like any game you play. Every game that you play has a unique art style to it. So it's like, sort of separates that from, like, say, typical Persona games, where it's not as cheapified. Right?
Yeah.
And I like it because of the fact that, as far as I'm aware, I know that Atlas has their own other tactical game before. Can't quite think of the name right now, but this is like Persona's first time delving into that genre. So honestly, I'm all for it. I'm all for that. Yeah. Well, by the way, before we continue, can you hear my voice coming out of the thing through Twitch? Because last time my voice wasn't coming out when I was playing Portable, so I want to make sure that it is this time.
Let me double check. Let me turn on.
Yeah.
Say something.
Saying something. Might be a few minutes delay because of the broadcasting thing.
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Alright, good. Perfect. Beautiful. Yeah, there's not much to say of it. It's just, it has a unique art style. Obviously, Linen is singing, so it's like, that's as Persona 5 as it gets. They're seemingly isekai to this other world that's a lot more like, I don't know, the first thing that comes to mind is Fire Emblem, so it's like, it's kind of like a sort of fantasy-esque place, which is honestly, that's cool, dude. I'm all for that.
Yeah.
Did you want to talk about, like, what you found out about, like, the pre-order bonus, like the peak rubber?
Oh, so on the Japanese website, I haven't really looked into it, but it looks like there's two pre-order bonuses, which is the main protagonist P3 and the main protagonist P4's Persona Piccolo forms.
So it's like Orpheus and Izanagi, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not good with names. I just know who they are owned by, so.
Yeah, no worries. It's all
so, yeah. I'm going to pre-order that shit as soon as I can.
Yeah.
Because I actually really love the Tactica game. I
think I will do the same, for the sheer fact that, well, you know, anything Persona, you know, I'm gonna be all for. And I'm especially looking forward to Reload. So, Persona 3 Reload, honestly, from the on-site, good.
Is going through some controversy right now with
the fan base. We will get. We will get into that little scandal. We won't touch much on that because honestly, remember my podcast is not about controversies.
Yeah, I know.
So.
That's why I said I'm just going to give my opinion and then I'm going to just. Yeah. Yeah, that.
Yeah. So. Basically, my impression on it so far is it looks really good. Like, it's running on Unreal Engine. It's, you know, basically what the fans wanted in general, a Persona 3 remake. That's been surveyed through for what I know of. That's been demanded through the public conscious. It's like Persona 3 remake has been talked about quite a lot. So it's like, now it's finally on its way. Tessa, what do you think of a Persona 3 Reload coming out next year? I guess.
Honestly, I like it too. It's one of those. I would have not. Okay. I would have still liked it, regardless if it's the old art style or the new ones. I really don't care about that stuff. to be honest, I just like playing games, having a good time with friends.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, like.
That's my honest opinion. I really looking for both games.
Yeah. Me too. Like, especially since I think I said this on record that Persona 3 is like my second favorite Persona game of the main line. And, you know, me at least beating Fess the first time, at least the original Persona 3 story. I did not finish the answer, just to confess that right there. It's too long. Adding that on top of that. And I am playing through Portable right now, as you guys know, as my Let's Play. I'm probably going to finish Portable now this year, since this game is being announced, so it's getting more incentive to finish at least the FMC route. Well, that's another topic we'll also talk on, but I guess to touch a bit on like arguments that's going on Twitter. I'm not going to touch on anything specific, but I've seen my fair share of like, if you've seen my rent video on that, it's like, it more or less sums up like how I'm feeling on that, and I say it's like, I think I'll just admit this, just to bring some positivity. Persona fans are some of the most passionate groups of fan bases I've seen. Like, it's clear to me that we collectively care about the Persona games in our own way, right?
Yeah, it does show that. Just also do not self. It's not your game, so don't harp on it too much because you can't hurt other people's feelings.
Yeah, so it's like the absence of the answer, the lack of FMC, I understand. I get it. There are things that are probably going to be missing through this remake. It's not going to be that different from Fess or original Persona 3, or it is a new modern take of the Persona 3. That's a remake.
That's a remake for you.
Hmm?
I get it, it's not what everyone wants, but it's at least something, and people should actually enjoy getting something. And nothing unlike Persona 4 fans, which they're actually taking this in stride and actually glad that they're not getting anything this year, which is funny.
It is pretty funny. Oh man, I forgot to change the category of games. I'm not playing Entrant Odyssey. I am playing a podcast.
But the new title, just saying the new IP that they have, it looks actually pretty good, and that's all what's pleasing the Persona 4 fans. So,
Yeah.
this has a little bit for everybody this year, and this upcoming year. So, just be blessed for getting anything from Atlas.
Absolutely. So, and you also have to just learn this. I'm just saying people in general, like, if certain people have like a sort of opinion you don't really agree with, like I've seen people defend on justifying having FMC. I've seen people critique about the UIs or the models or whatever. I would say it's just their opinion, and if honestly you can't handle it, just move along your business. Don't be a part of that. Like, this is why I honestly don't blame, like, certain content creators that I sort of keep up with in terms of Persona news. One of them I respect, like, made a statement that they don't have Twitter for that reason, or they refuse to come back to it because of the backlash and all that. So it's like, in a way, I understand. So it's best to just appreciate at least we're getting something off of Atlas, as Tessa just said. and just appreciate we're getting a Persona 3 remake, because honestly, this remake technically doesn't need to be made, in all honesty, but yet we're getting one because Atlas.
No, it technically does not, because you guys have the original, you also have portable. Now you can argue that Persona 5 and Persona 4 got a lot of remake. You guys can't argue that. I get it. There's also the Q series as well.
And honestly, especially for those that are fans of FMC, like FMC's gotten like positive receptions on the Q series and her own spinoff. Like it's like there are ways to just enjoy the characters there without them needing to be in the other. But I'm just saying this, who knows? Like, modern games are known to having DLC.
It might be DLC. They might, the Fez might also be DLC too down the line. It's clearly that Atlas loves DLC and they're going to milk the series as much as possible. So they're going to probably put those two as DLC, just like on how maybe Kasune, Crow, Wolf, and Sophie will be DLC for the Tactic game. You never know with that.
Yeah, and I think it's just best to just yeah, it's just best to temper expectations and just see what they come up with. Like, and you know, understand that gaming companies are going to do whatever it takes to make money, because that's their business. That's how they, you know, they're the ones. Okay, let's just say this: they're the ones that asked for the survey. In the survey, I believe they clearly asked, "Do you guys want a Persona 3 remake?" And the perception was yes. The answer was yes, unanimously yes. And I think Atlas has never stated outright, like, oh, we're making a remake, but we are not going to probably promise to put all these things. Or they will probably down the line. But another point I want to make is, like, you can't really judge everything based on just one single trailer. Is what people need to understand, too. Right?
Yeah, it's one single trailer. Atlas will probably produce 3 trailers before the game comes out. Especially Reload, because Reload's coming out next year, and that's all that we know. So more than likely they're going to talk crazy on the Japanese side of it. So I'll keep around the Japanese YouTube.
Yeah.
Account if you guys can, because they're probably going to be talking about it over there more than over here, which is sad, but at least you now know that they're both English dubbed.
It's like, also, yeah, that's another thing. Normally with the English cast, they normally wait that closer to release date, but they weren't able to announce that after the first trailer. So it's like, great, we got news on the English cast. Oh, by the way, for those that don't know, it is a completely new English cast. It's not the same ones that you're familiar with. So I would just say, whatever your opinions on that, also try to be civil with that as well, because
YouTubers voicing the dog, isn't it? That's why a lot of people are not too happy.
I don't know. I don't think it's that, but it's more like people just need to realize that you know, some of the actors that we know, like Yuri Lofel, Vic Mignogna, Michelle Ruff, the one that does Kawakami, but also Yukari, like the ones that you guys are familiar with are going to come back. And in fact, some of the English actors gave their blessings to the new ones. already. Like especially Yuri Lowenfeld and the other guy that's replacing him for Dorkun, for the protagonist. So it's honestly,
Yeah.
yeah, good.
Honestly, think about it this way too with the voice actors. It's been almost 2 decades since Persona 3 has been released. They might not be able to do the exact same voice as they were able to do 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, not 20, like 16 maybe, I don't know. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
So, I'm very happy a YouTuber got a job in the acting gig, though. That's a big feat for YouTube. That is a big step.
It just goes to show you if you are passionate enough, being a fan of, companies like Atlas enough that maybe you get connections, and then who knows, you might get a chance to voice act. So it's like, rather than trying to focus on the negative things, it's always just try to see, like, I would say use that pent-up anger of your guys. I'm just saying you guys in general, and then make something positive out of it. Make something creative instead, instead of trying to spread hate or just negativity, just because you're not satisfied about few aspects of these games that are coming out.
Yeah, just be blessed that we're getting anything, because Atlas could have said, no, we're not releasing anything this year until we're fully ready. That you see all fighting on Twitter. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, like, each time I see it, I can't help but feel bad. I even went as far as today as to ask, like, the fandom, like, how their week's going. Like, are they hydrated, Don't forget to drink water. Don't forget to, like, take care of yourselves a little bit, Just, because time is too short to be arguing amongst yourselves about a game, about stuff, waifus or whatever. It's just, yeah.
Life's too short. Yeah, you can pause for bringing it up on your Twitter, but don't go into your comment section and start arguing your whole point across. I mean, a lot of people upset. I also noticed this with Facebook too, but I don't know if it's over on Instagram. But you can say your opinion, but just ignore the comments that are against your opinion. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
Because that's what I do.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm definitely pre-ordering at least Tactics. I don't know about Reload though.
Yeah.
Reload did not say any DLC on their website, so
I'm still sold. I'm still sold on it regardless of DLC, just because it just
because of the whole radio accident.
Yeah. I'm sold on it because it's like being Persona 3 the first time was honestly, it made me feel an empty void that I can't really describe. Like just how P5 also had that void with me, but like 3 almost hit like a little bit different. It's like whoosh, the emotion hit. But
I get it's towards emo people, and it's like you guys gotta get out of your emo stage too.
Yeah.
Please.
Oh yeah.
Because that's not a good stage to be in for a long term.
Yeah, definitely not. That's understandable. Like, You can probably going back to the FemC thing for a bit. You can probably emphasize with the girl players that wants to that loves playing as a girl. You probably need the guys. What's your stance on that? Like,
I definitely understand why they want the female protagonist from Portable P3. And I get it. I want female Jokers so bad, where I have to mod Royal just to get it. That's on how far I can go. But it's not our game. All because we want something doesn't mean Atlas is going to do it.
yeah.
I would love a female protagonist playing this FemC through the reload, don't get me wrong. I would also like female Joker to be in any Persona 5 game, a canon Persona game. So I at least have some proof that she could be, it could be like the Spider-Verse all over again.
Yeah.
To the point where I'm doing commissions with female and male Joker for that reason.
Yeah, like, honestly, a lot of media has been dealing with the multiverse in general, so honestly, that could very well be a thing. Like, in a way, that's why FemC's existence is also, like, kind of a blessing, because it's like, it's giving at least, I guess, the female audience and even some males that, you know, love her as a waifu, like, a reason to, you know, play the same game but with a different perspective. Like so let's just name, this is kind of going back to like the female podcast we did last time, because we talked about female Joker last time, but like other RPGs that have like a male and female option, like Pokemon, of course, Fire Emblem, I guess like Mass Effect or Skyrim, or pretty much like
Zelda, I do know their Dynasty Warriors game. I get it. This is a Japanese company, and they're stuck in their ways. But even though I would love female Joker, you don't see me spreading hate on the internet about that.
yeah.
I'm actually literally trying to make it positive and negative into a positive on my life, on my Twitter timeline. That's why I will play as female Joker, because like she means something to me, but doesn't mean she means something to everybody else. But FemC just got released, well, Portable just got released this year. So did Persona 4 Golden on all consoles.
Yep.
So technically you already did get something this year.
Yeah. Like, she exists right now. Like,
Oh,
honestly, that's another thing. If people want Atlas to put more of what they want, and realize this, even if you get in general what you want, don't expect to get everything that you want. Like, so I'm getting to my point. If people support Atlas by buying Persona 3 Reload next year, they're probably gonna, who knows, they're probably gonna do a rehash for the first two games that, honestly, in my opinion, and I'm just being honest, that honestly needs it more than, not only needs it more, but needs it just as much as Persona 3 does, in my honest opinion. Because the gameplay,
I would love to play the first two games.
because the gameplays for those games, haven't aged well at all. And
Oh no, it hasn't. It's actually got worse over time. But I would really love, because what they can do is display Persona 2, just put it all in one thing.
Yeah, it's like I know why they did a duology thing. I understand it because at the time Persona was still trying to get its identity, and it's like to understand the first two games. It's like you can't really equate the first two games with the modern games because they're like worlds apart from each other. They play like slightly different roles. So it's like, but yeah, it's like what Tessa said. Maybe they should combine the duology, the Persona 2 Part 1 and 2 into one, and then
Also, do yourself, F fans, I know they exist. I feel sorry for you that get left behind so much. Worse than Persona 1 and 2 fan. I didn't even know they existed until today, and all the day I looked at F because I was actually just generally curious on what was the first Persona game, and
yeah, so Shin Megami Tensei If, yeah, I played a little bit of that. I'm not gonna say where, but like I did play a little bit of that just out of curiosity, and yes, it's S&T, but it sort of takes place in a high school setting, so it's like that game was more or less the groundwork of what we know of the Persona games, like at least taking place in high school parts of it aspect. But
yeah, it's just let's see what we get this year. There's always a chance for DLC. There's always that. So.
yeah.
And like I said, it's just one trailer. I know Atlas Japan will release a bunch of trailers and talking about the two games. I don't know about Atlas West, but I do know. Just keep an eye on the Japanese one. That's not how I kept up with Strikers games.
Yep.
That's literally how I found out about Strikers and Shadow Joker. I was excited for that.
Oh yeah.
When that was released to begins. I think that's also how Kasumi's name was leaked too.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think I first found out about Kasumi and Royal because of the last, I believe, if I remember correctly, either the last episode of the Persona 5 the Animation 40 OVAs or the last episode after the OVAs, but it's like, I think they had like a small teaser of it, and then I was like, what is this? And then obviously you learn a bit more about Royal Time and stuff like that, and it's like, that's like really cool.
Royal Tush is free right now. It's now their Tush keeps on freezing on me for some reason.
Yeah.
What else is there to talk about? Other than
I don't know, like,
I don't know about the IP. Like I say, it looks like they're taking P5's engine and just running with it.
From what from what I know of, it's not exactly P5 engine. It's by the Unreal Engine, and it's slightly different, but it's like similar enough where you could honestly compare the two, which is honestly really good still.
Yeah, I heard that engine was actually pretty good. A lot of apps run on that engine, by the way.
Yep.
I know a lot of Project Emo ones do. I know my Persona guides do run on that engine. It's really good.
Yeah, I guess just to break the topic a bit briefly, let me. Like, so from what we kind of know of, I guess, what's your impression on the Metaphor game, like the new IP, the completely new IP that Atlas is gonna make by next year? Like,
It looks absolutely goddamn amazing, and I really would like to see more of it before I set my money on it, because it is a good game. And I have a thing, if I don't like buying games that I don't like in the end, so I might actually hold off, not buy it, and watch a walkthrough. Let's if the stupid pre-order saying, oh, Joker's costume is going to be this for pre-order, then I will have to probably pre-order it.
knowing Atlas, I think that's probably what they're gonna do.
I will probably hold off on getting that.
Knowing Atlas, that's probably what they will do, just to incentivize. So, you play Persona? Well, here's a way I'm gonna sell this.
They're probably do that just to sell more units of that game, which, if they do that, I will not be surprised. But if they do that, I'll be surprised. If they do not, I'll be shocked. Because look at how Soul Hackers Persona 5 was the bonus pre-order DLC for Digital Download. And then look at the Entity Oddity games. Joker was also released in that. Ringo, Navino, Demi-Theme, Teddy, and also Igus was released in those. So it's kind of that they're going to have some type of DLC bringing some of those characters to light, or as costumes probably.
Yeah. And, well, like it or not, DLC's inevitable. So it's like we're gonna expect it through the Reload game. We obviously gonna expect it to the Tactica game coming out in a few months.
It's plainly clear on the Japanese website for the Tactica game. They have say DLC will be available. It's clearly said on the Japanese website.
Yep.
So, Reload, there's not much on the Japanese website besides people theorizing that FC is going to be in there because there's pink, but then it's like,
yeah, but then people forget that pink is also Yukari's color.
yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah. Yeah, pink's Yukari's color, and it makes sense because pink is over Yukari. It's like how purple is over Junpei, I think. And yet nobody is theorizing that there's a Persona 1 remake coming out because of the purple scheme.
yeah. Like, I feel like Atlas is also doing a safe bet because, of course, this is going to obviously hold us over until Persona 6 inevitably gets announced. So, it's like, people were right on the money on guessing on a Persona 3 remake, so it's like, for those that got that right, congratulations. We're getting one next year. Yep, good.
For people who got the Tactic game, good for you. I just know that we have a little more than, I would say we have 10 years until Persona 6 comes out.
Yeah.
Like, that's fairly on, because that's how long it took for Persona 5 to come out. And if they're wanting to top their successor, which is Persona 5, they're going to really need to work hard on that. So, And hopefully it will be released on all platforms, not just Sony, because that would be a spit in everyone's face after this.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, probably one last thing. We're just 20 minutes in, but I'm gonna end this actually a little bit because I think we got our thoughts together on this. But like,
Yeah.
basically, there's right now not really a rumor, but like something that's hinted that there's supposedly gonna be some kind of anniversary game or anniversary something that's supposedly gonna celebrate all the games or all the games together sometime next year. So like, what's your thoughts on like? Well, I guess at the very least, the mainline games, all of them getting acknowledged, I guess, by next year, it's by some capacity.
You need the protagonist, something like that. Yeah, that might be something that's good to look forward to too for the fans, because if they are making a fan tribute and having all of this discourse with the fans, it doesn't help. Because this is literally going to be a spit in the face for Atlas if we're all fighting with each other.
Yeah, I feel like I said on a tweet, it might be not necessarily a Q series representation because the person that not really leaked, but like had inside information said that it's not Persona Q series. It's actually an anniversary, supposedly an anniversary game celebrating all the mainline games from 1 to 5.
Yeah, I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to anything that comes from Atlas because I honestly like their games. It has a good moral story and very strong values. So that's kind of why I like Atlas as a company. I don't like some of their practices, but
yeah, neither do I. We definitely dug into them with the Soul Hackers. I'll never forgive them for that. A little bit, I'll say that.
I'm still upset about that. Can someone make a mod for Ringo's costume for the fantasy, please, and put it on the website that I use?
Yeah, that honestly would be nice.
They don't have that currently available as a mod yet. I wouldn't mind just downloading that mod just so I could play Soul Hackers for that. But
yeah, but anyways, I think that will do it for this discussion on the Persona games coming out. Honestly, if you're an Atlas fan, you're gonna eat good. At least by next year, and these games are gonna, be good. So I guess final thoughts on both Tactica and Reload before we pull off Tessa.
honestly, they both look good. I'm looking more forward to the Tactica game than Reloaded, but that's because I like GB or 44. Sorry.
That's all good. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well. Like, I started with P5, so honestly, we have our biases. But Persona 3 is also I would say Persona 3 is like my second home too. Like, honestly, I like them both. I'm looking forward to both of them. Very curious to see what else they're going to unveil for Reload as well. So we'll see what the future has to hold. But anyways, it has been host Keister. Go on, Dirty Demons. Do you want to say goodbye to the audience that are watching and that's going to watch? Yeah. And also, I appreciate the support for my last video. Was speaking my honest true thoughts. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the stream and looking forward to more Persona content in the future. And Atlas games for that matter. Anyways, take care and good night, everybody.